All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NOK, Nokia. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we jump into this chart, I just want to quickly announce to every single investor and viewer to stay tuned till the end because I have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss. You definitely want to add this one to your watch list. It's in the energy sector, and it definitely has potential overall to take a market share in that market, especially with how expansive it's going to become in the near future and with the administration we're under, right? Because they're kind of pro clean energy. So stay tuned till the end for more information on that one that you definitely want to keep on your radar. So, NOK. The first thing I want to state, and some people might not want to hear this, is I really enjoyed seeing everybody's phones, what year they got them, when they got their first phone, if they had a Nokia. And I've seen even people say, I had a Nokia and I have a Kia. That was pretty funny. I've had both, a Kia and a Nokia. That was funny. I really appreciate everyone's comments and, taking the time to state that information because I found it interesting that I was doing a video on Nokia and it was my first phone and that just came to my mind. So let's jump into the most important stuff now, the raw data. And I really want to kind of take a moment to share some knowledge and share some insight, and then also jump into everything that the chart is showing. And I'm not saying that it can't go back up if investors load up on shares again, but it's going to be really difficult because now the eyes are on these stocks. So the people, we the people, investors, I won't say broke the system, but went ahead and found a way through the system to ramp up a stock, right? We put pressure on the market. Now, the market and overall, even the brokerages, so I don't know if this had anything to do with, legislation or if it was just the brokerages, they had to do this, or Wall Street put pressure on the brokerages. Someone, or the banks, someone went ahead, or the brokerages themselves went ahead and put pressure back on the people. And here we are seeing what happens when the people receive the pressure and went right back down. We were stopped, right, as investors from buying more, but we were also allowed to sell. So basically, you have two options: that everybody just holds together until whenever they want to sell, or let's sell now before I'm the last one to sell, which is reasonable. My best advice, if anything like this comes up again, which it may, and it happens a lot throughout the year, but this was like one of the most publicly moments of like everyone being aware to jump in on opportunity. Don't risk more than you can tolerate. Your risk tolerance needs to be adjusted, and you just need to focus on either getting 100% back or 200%, and that's it. I know a lot of people and investors that probably were hopeful that this was a slight pullback because GME continued for some time. And that's a beautiful example to look at, but it didn't turn out to paint the same picture. And that's something I need every single investor to be aware of. A lot of people are saying slight pullback, consolidation, we're going to run up to newer highs. I would never, in any speculative play, put more than 10% or even 5% of my portfolio. And sometimes I don't even go off of percentages. I go off of a set number of amount, which has nothing to do with the percentage of my portfolio. I just say, this is the total amount I'm willing to risk. And that has nothing to do with the percentage of my portfolio. It's just the amount I'm willing to put in. I would put in $500 to $1,000. And I know to some of you guys, that sounds like nothing. And that's completely fine. I respect everyone's opinion and I respect everyone's perspective. But I'm not talking to the big ballers. I'm talking to the investors that are just getting started, or the investors that are learning. This is the right amount for any of these plays. Because if you put, let's say, 500 at $4, or you put 500 at $5, you would have received back up here at 8, anywhere between per dollar $100, right? And if you put 1,000, same thing. So it's something that I want every single investor to be aware of, that when you go ahead and you put large amounts, you want it to multiply. And I'm doing a video specifically about this, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to explain more about it in that video, and I really would appreciate every single investor in my channel that comes across it to watch it. And either you're a subscriber or you're a frequent viewer or a first time viewer, I highly recommend seeing it so you guys know where I'm coming from. But you just want to go ahead and get your 100% return. That's what you need to try to do when these plays happen. Now, if you see this running so high, there's times where you need to be reasonable and say, or rational and say, I missed out. But then FOMO, which is fear of missing out, kicks in and people jump in up here. And that's where investing becomes very frustrating to a lot of investors, especially new investors. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep it right there because I don't want to talk too long about that. But I hope that I'm speaking to someone and they're hearing me out. You want to make sure that if any of this comes up again, you put a few $100 to $1,000 and no more. I would never put more than that on any speculative play. Now, if you're a true believer in Nokia, around this area or even around this area closer to $4.20, 16 cents, you're going to load up because you're not focusing on this hype. You're focusing on 5G. And I completely respect that because this is what 5G is going to do over time. But it's not going to happen in one day. This is probably going to take 6 to 7 months, a whole year. I completely respect that strategy. But on anything this hype, you want to always be careful because you're not the only one trading the stock. And if I pull this up right now, the amount of volume is tremendous. 659 million. That's 10 times the average volume in the last 10 days. And I guarantee you, if we take away the last few days, which was back here, yesterday and all the way back to the 25th, 22nd, it's half of that. It's probably an average of 30. So that's not 10 times. That's almost 20 times the volume. 20 times the amount of investors. So I hope I'm speaking some knowledge into some people. And if you're a big baller, I respect it. You go ahead and do your risk tolerance based off of your rational decisions. But I needed to say this for every new investor and beginning investors, learning investors, or investors that are trying to learn how to trade in the stock market regardless of the size of their portfolio, even if it's huge, because the point is to become profitable. So that's my best advice, to focus on these type of runs. Not even getting your 100%, get your 50%. You put 500, get 250 out, that's it. You put 1,000, get your 500 out, that's it. In one day, that's a lot for one day. There's people that wait weeks for that to happen to their portfolio, right? So let's go ahead and see here the resistance. The most important point here is the 50-day moving average right now, but our resistance is 504. We're currently sitting at 484. If this gets broken through, this could be on its way up to newer highs and new resistance levels, but very important to keep that in mind. Okay, super important. But if the bulls break through that, does not guarantee that they're going to reach the 50-day moving average. This is just an indicator to let us know where the momentum is going. Our support, which is the lowest point reached in the day, is 460. If that gets broken through, we could be on our way down to newer lows, new support levels, and getting deeper into bearish territory. So I want every single investor to be aware of that. Now the 50-day moving average is 552. This is, to me, the true resistance level. The bulls need to get right back up into bullish territory, and if they can break through 552, their next resistance level is up here at 613 to continue to pull upwards to newer highs and new resistance levels. So stay focused on these points. I hope that with these cues, you guys are well equipped for tomorrow's trading day. And as always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Stay tuned, because I'm about to share with you guys a ticker symbol you won't want to miss. So for everyone that has stayed to this point in the video, the stock I'm about to share with you guys is in the energy sector. For most of you guys that are aware of the energy sector and renewable resources, a lot of people are focusing on fuel cell, plug power, blink charging, other stocks like NextEra Energy. Those are all great stocks to focus in on. But the one I'm coming across right now, and it's going to be an effective merger sometime soon, is STPK, Star Peak Energy Transition Corp. Now, based off of what I've seen, they're going to merge with STEM, based off of the research that I've seen and what I've seen in articles. Now, if anybody wants to reiterate that or go ahead and correct me, you're more than welcome, or confirm that for me. I would appreciate that. But STPK, the energy sector is booming. And this is a merger company that has just been running since, the blank check started to be publicly traded. We've seen it go from literally $10 all the way up to $37, almost $40, come right back down to 24, and it's running up to already almost 30 and leveled off at 28. I need every single investor to be aware that it's a little bit volatile, and it's definitely one you need to do your research and see if you believe in the company so you can make your own rational decision as an investor. But this is definitely one to watch going into the year, especially with how the energy sector is reacting to the new administration, and also the way things are being revamped up to go ahead and push for cleaner energy. Like, that's becoming almost from, quote unquote impossible goal, or like a taboo, almost turning into a norm. That's going to be the future, and we're taking steps into the future. And if you really think about it, we are in the future as we speak, as we see, as we move. So this is something that's becoming a reality. So STPK, whether the merger goes ahead and goes through, I believe it's actually already confirmed, and that's why there's this type of bullishness, that there's going to be so much room for this company moving forward. So STPK is definitely one you want to have on your watch list. Keep it on your radar. Do your due diligence. Do your research. But so much potential here. And the volatility is not unhealthy. I mean, it pulled back, but it's running right back up. And we want to see if this consolidates within this area. Or will it pull right back down around this area, consolidate till the next catalyst, and actually push itself up? Because every single time it's pushed itself up, kind of moves sideways, upwards, a little bit down, and then it ran up. And here we are already seeing it a little bit down and already running up. We want to see if it continues to run up to newer highs, new resistance levels, or will it kind of cool off, and it lets us know if this may be an opportunity to go ahead and do a rational decision as an investor. So I hope that if you didn't know or weren't aware of this company, or you were and you completely forgot about it, you keep this one in mind moving forward, because the opportunity of growth potential is there. And how fast it's grown and the merger hasn't even executed is pretty impressive. And that just tells you how much more bullish the sentiment of investors is, and how the future outlook for this company merger / sector is moving forward. So thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, let's make some money.